Hello again everyone, it's Baldy Chris. I'm going to be having another crack at the quest for the unfinished gun. Head straight into it. So it's quite a busy first room this, isn't it? The way those books were spelling out letters, it looked a little bit like it said no, like it was answering my question. It was quite a busy room. That's more like it, you know, as your first room with a dungeon, you don't want to be completely overwhelmed. I mean, yeah, it's our game, but you don't want to be dying in the first room. I did do that to a friend, tricked him into it. I'd managed to complete the game on his account enough times that it unlocked the curse shrine in the actual first room where you spawn in. Suggested that you pray at the shrine, which you can't do up until that point. He fell for it believing it was a good thing to do, and of course got a curse level of 9 straight off the bat. If you don't know, that's what that shrine does. With curse level that high, you're gonna definitely be seeing a lot of jammed enemies. So he died within probably 2 minutes of picking up the control of the game. I'm like, okay, back to my turn then. Ready for like another hour-long run where I sort of reached the 5th floor or whatever. But okay, well, obviously I didn't. Just let him have another go where he didn't get himself cursed. Bit of a mean trick to play, but it had to be done. Okay. Yeah, so as ever, with the quest for the finished gun, because my missing items are rat items, the whole point of this is to be very focused on getting to the rat fight, necessitating the 115 shell casings to buy the rat key, or the Nord key. Which tends to mean you can't really buy a great deal in any of the shops, with the possible exception of keys, since straight away, to maximise the chances of getting 115, we pretty much need to go to the oubliette. I mean, it's not impossible to make 115 without it. It is less common. Certainly the oubliette maximises chances. But you need 2 keys to get into the oubliette. Of course, you only start with 1. So, hoping for key drops. Haven't had any so far. All it's done is drop some, I think, 2 bits of extra health altogether, and has actually managed to keep my health intact so far. Then those bits of health aren't looking too useful just at the moment. Handy enough if I do manage to lose any health. So, been more or less everywhere in this level so far. There's one option which must be the fireplace room. Am I going the right way to get to it? Where am I? Yeah, up and up again. Yes, it is the fireplace room. Oh no. Yeah, fired off slightly too many shots at that grenade and managed to pop the water barrel, and just leaving a wet patch there, which makes it unlikely I can put out that fire. There was a snowballer for sale in the shop, which counts as a water-based weapon, so that should put out the fire, but that would be pretty desperate. Hopefully there is another water barrel somewhere else in this level. Has been in the shop before now. So snowballer 35, key 25, that's what, 60 altogether, so I'd need to get 13 out of the boss to be able to come close to buying both the second key needed to access the oubliette and the snowballer possibly needed to put out the fire. So some might say that's not looking terribly promising to get into the oubliette. So unfortunately it does mean I'm going to have to tour around the place looking for another water barrel. Right, okay, that's the shrine I was talking about, so gone right back to the start level there, which... start room, rather, and you're definitely not going to see a water barrel in there. Do you know what? I am just going to abandon the idea of going to the oubliette full stop, or am I? Actually, let's try the boss fight using the starter pistol, see if we get a key drop. Makes it less likely to get a flawless, which is obviously not really the best way to start proceedings. Certainly want the extra heart containers attached to getting flawless victories. Where's he gone to? There he is. Yeah, simply because it takes longer to get through the fight using the starter pistol. It's about half done. And one advantage of this layout is that there's an awful lot of cover around the place. Which is hopefully conducive to avoiding the shots. Very nearly done. Right, rather than risk a silly hit, let's give it a few extra seconds. So yeah, amazingly a flawless with the starter pistol, which is a bit of a result. Okay, no key drop. Bits of extra health that cannot be used. The master round, thankfully, and presumably this must be a weapon since I didn't pick up a weapon. Yeah, oh, mutation's pretty good actually, yeah. As with all beam weapons, it's a bit ammo inefficient. Right, okay. So, didn't get a key, got a bit more cash. Actually could get both the snowballer and the second key, leaving us with 0 cash. Let's give it a try, see if we can get 115 out of just the oubliette and the second floor. Perhaps ambitious, but in fact before I destroy these chests, let's just make sure that the snowballer is going to let us put out the fire. It should, but I'm fairly certain that recently I had the Mega Douse, which is essentially a Super Soaker water pistol, and it didn't put out the fire for some reason. And I can't think of a more water-based weapon to be using. Right, okay, that's done. Where is the entrance? Actually, we don't need the entrance just yet. Let's go junk the chests. Hope for something nice. Had Sir Junken on the last run. He was quite helpful, but not helpful enough to actually beat the rat, unfortunately. That's more on me than Sir Junken, but since he's quite rare, and I've had him twice recently, in fact, the other time he was much more useful, carried me right through to a win on Bullet Hell. I think it's quite unlikely we'll be seeing him again, but you never know. I mean, I think it is only a 1% chance of seeing him when you destroy chests. This room's unlikely to have a secret room leading off it, really. I'd say that's the only wall that could have had it. Yeah, it is only a 1% chance. That doesn't mean you've got to do 100 attempts, and it will definitely happen one time. You could get really lucky and get it a few times close together. Just have that 1% chance to actually pay off. It's not, obviously. Right, I'm just going to randomly let off a blank in here, and no secret room off there. Okay, so off to the oubliette, where hopefully going to come out with absolutely bucket loads of cash. Otherwise we're not going to the rat floor. Unless, of course, we pick up something that allows us to steal, in which case I'm stealing the hell out of that key and then spending the money on something a bit cheaper. Nearly got a poison hit there, which would have been a rubbish way to lose health or armour. Nearly as rubbish as that. Right. Talking of armour, there's the old crest down there. Leave that in place until the end of the level. Yeah, even in the hands of the gunslinger, I find that the snowballer is not an especially effective weapon. I mean, the freezing is always a useful attribute to get, but it fires too slowly to be properly effective, although it does fire more as the gunslinger than it does for other characters. Yeah, I suppose from the look of it, individually each shot is doing more damage than the starter weapon would, but firing slower, so doing less rapid damage, or might be about the same overall, I don't know. So I might just move to using the mutation for a little while then. Certainly cannot be accused of being slow firing. Those things appear to be electricity resistant. Am I? I am. Good. Sometimes a drawback to these kind of weapons is they just spread hazards everywhere and don't necessarily give you immunity to them yourself, so you can end up just getting caught by the fire that you've laid down yourself. Oh, we've got a mimic there, which you can see the chest lid moving, so that would have been a trophy, is getting the drop on a mimic. If you try and open the chest, it takes the key off you. Oh, that's actually quite handy. That allows us to fly, so we'll be avoiding all floor-based hazards from now on. And when you dodge roll, it fires off a bunch of shots as well. But yeah, so if you manage to... Oh, another chest. Is it another mimic? Let's just switch over to the slinger briefly. It's not, no. Must be a sort of weird effect on my TV. It looked like it was moving there. But yes, if you try and open a mimic chest, it will still take the key off you, which is annoying. Why is that not getting electrocuted? And then the mimic will attack you straight away, and quite often the first shot out of them is a jammed shot as well, which does double damage, so it's very unfortunate. And I mean, if you do beat them in the fight rather than dying to them, you do still get the contents of the chest, but you've also used up a key, so it's definitely preferable to recognise them for what they are and get them beat in a fight, get the trophy. Oh, here we are. Right, let's just give that a quick hit with the snowballer to put the fuse out, so we might be able to come back with a key later on. That's one advantage of water-based weapons, is you can extinguish the fuses on chests. Now ordinarily I wouldn't particularly like this trap room, but I can fly, which makes it a lot easier. Could still get caught out here, so I'm going to dodge roll through that. There we are. That's the way to do it, is just be able to fly. What could be easier? And yeah, that room is normally quite tricky because there's a lot of enemies in each wave and a lot of waves, and they can corner you quite easily. But apparently, turning the whole place into an electrified water pit is a good way of dealing with it. Okay, there's not really anything exciting for sale here, although to be fair, we're probably not going to be able to afford anything if we've got any chance of making that 115 for the Nord Key. Disarming personality for sale there, which gives a 15% discount in the shop, which is the pilot's, or one of the pilot's starting attributes. Okay, another trap room that's rendered relatively easy by flying. In fact, I believe I could fly right over these flame traps and still not get hit. There we are. I wasn't 100% confident, but there we go. Okay, so some key drops would be nice, because it would be nice to get the chests open. And while we do need a key to get into the rat fight, it's not needed for a while. Yeah, that was a silly hit. I got snagged on the table. Some ammo. We'll refill the mutation since that's doing well for us. Been more or less everywhere. This might well be the boss, or at least it certainly ought to be the way to the boss. Might be a few rooms to get there. Or just the one. Still no key drops, that's very annoying. Okay, I'll try a combination of the snowballer, hoping to get some freezing in, and then the mutation against the boss. I suspect using the mutation is just going to wipe the ammo out very quickly. Okay, yeah, it's frozen him up a little bit, so it slows down the attacks. Very much cornered here. Took a hit for it as well. So I'm about to disappear. Yeah, the freezing effect's definitely a bonus. Slows down the rate that his attacks come back at. I know that looks like a key. I mean, it's essentially, I think, a grenade pin or something along those lines. So doesn't look like we're going to be able to open those chests. What do we need still? Is that another 45 for the Nord Key? Don't think we can afford buying a key out of that. I'll have a quick look in the shop and see how much they are. I suspect they're probably 30. Yeah, definitely can't afford to buy a key. Okay. How annoying, an entire floor with not a single key drop. I mean, we did get one chest open because it was a mimic at least, I suppose. Alright, so let's destroy the chests and see what comes out of them. Is it going to be such a gun? No, it's not. And then there was another chest that dropped. Okay, well, we've definitely got all the junk we're going to require for a while. Let's get the old crest while I remember. Even if we don't go to the Abbey, it is simply a piece of armour. Okay, so secret room check. And then we even really twigged that it was the M1 that had picked up at the end of that boss fight. It's a pretty powerful shooter. And as such, pretty useful for boss fights. Okay, no secret room there. The shop is the right shape to potentially have one, but it'll still absolutely make a liar out of me. So I'll just try the exit room, and then if not, just bugger off to the second floor. Nope, okay, second floor. Yeah, there's no guarantee that a secret room will appear. From my understanding, there's a pretty good chance there will be one, or possibly two, on any given floor. It's just a question of finding them. The chest rooms, the shop, and the exit rooms tend to be the most likely places to find them. It is tricky to be methodical enough to go absolutely all around the place, firing off expendable ammo at walls at random to see if it generates a secret room for you. That was a silly hit, and that's the end of the old crest. So certainly not going to that secret floor. One fairly good way of doing it, although it is just as methodical, is if you manage to pick up blank bullets, repeatedly firing those off your starter pistol doesn't expend any ammo, and every so often you will get a blank effect, which will serve to sort of crack or pop open the secret rooms, but it's a long-winded way of doing it. Did we get the Lead Maiden dead? I think we did, didn't we? I was focusing a bit more on staying out of the way of the bullets that it leaves behind. Hadn't really clocked whether it had blown up or not. Okay, so within 20. And there's a cell creep as well, which would definitely get us there. There is a potential for me to want to sell the snowballer. In the hope of getting something better in return. Although I don't think there's anything terribly exciting in the shop. Okay, that was quicker than expected to find the boss. Do I want to fight the boss now? Yeah, go on, let's see how we get on with it. Don't seem to be getting terribly much freezing effect going on with this guy. Maybe a little bit, I don't know. Anyway, so far he hasn't hit us, so I'm okay with that. Oh, of course I can fly over that pit as well if need be. Oh, that was all getting a bit close. Oh, I think that was flawless. It was. Yeah, okay, maybe I don't want to sell the snowballer. If it was quicker, I'd like it better for sure. Am I going to refill that or something else? I'll refill the snowballer. Take the extra health. What's that? Helix. Fires in a pattern that makes it really easy to miss your enemies. Okay, I'll go back to the mutation and try clearing out the rest of the floor. So, almost got enough for the Nord key. Avoid these purple patches around the cursed ceramics that don't want to be cursed. no point shooting that. This trap room ordinarily isn't terribly difficult, it's just big, you've just got to plot your route around these logs, but since we can fly, not really too hard. That room, the log seems to do an adequate job of dispatching most of the enemies within the room. I don't think you get any cash drops for them if they were killed by the environment rather than by yourself. Okay, this room ordinarily has got a whole load of spike traps on the floor, but because we're flying we don't set them off, so it's another advantage with the flight ability we've got. This is just the corridor, isn't it? It's quite mean putting a gun nut in a room that small that's got traps everywhere, I think. On the other hand, if you know how to deal with them by just dodge rolling over their attacks, they're not too bad. Yeah, this mutation is acting very well as a room clearer. Another added benefit as well is it's got a really long range, whereas a room like this ordinarily, where you know where the attacks are coming from in the corners, but actually being able to get up close enough with some weapons to get an effective shot off yourself is tricky, but mutations reaching right across the room. Okay, so still no keys. And yeah, that's where we would have been dropping off the old crest. I think it's just the one hit we've taken, isn't it? If you are trying to open the Abbey, it's really frustrating. If you take a whole bunch of hits, then you're like, okay, fair enough, we'd have never made it. But with one hit, you're like, it was so close. And it tends to be a silly, cheap hit as well. That's the one that does it for you. Right, okay, is that all the rooms? Yes, it is. So, into the shop. Get the Nord key. And we can't afford any other keys. So, we've got a sell creep. Do I want to sell the snowballer? How much are the keys? Are they 30 still? So, well, I can't see the snowballer selling for enough to give us 2 keys. And it was quite effective against the boss, so... Oh, there's 3 chests altogether. Man. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be a case of junking the chests. Oh, you never know, they might shoot open and reveal their contents. Or just give us hearts that we can't use. I will save you for later, even though there's no benefit to doing so. And probably just regular junk rather than Sejunken. I mean, there is the possibility of getting gold junk out of them as well, which I think pays you 500 credits, and then you can pretty much buy what you want for the rest of the run. It's not quite enough to buy literally everything you encounter, but it is good. Okay, that's 6 pieces of junk, and so if we did have Sejunken, he'd be pretty well powered up by now, but we don't, so never mind. There we go, there's a secret room. What have we got in here? A chest we can actually open, and a bit of armour. You troll. A chest we can open with nothing of any use in it. Okay, so yeah, I think we've done everything we can do on the floor. So, off to the 3rd floor, and look for the entrance to the rat fight. And some keys. We need 1 key to get into the rat fight itself. There's one slight difficulty attached to finding the rat fight when you can fly, is that the your footsteps, you're not touching the floor, so there are no footsteps to kick up the telltale dust patterns across the hatch. So, mind you, this mutation is kind of wiping the floor clean with all the liquid that it's spraying about. That was a silly hit. And that's another way of clearing off the floor and revealing the rat hatch. Because you always wonder how people found these things out in the first place. They're not necessarily self-evident. I know full well how to reach the rat fight now, but yes, I thought I saw a Keekin running across there, so I made a point of shooting towards it and pretty much put myself in harm's way, although amazingly managed to stay out of trouble. It's Winchester. How much does he want? Probably more than we've got. Oops, I'd almost selected to play that. And as predicted, it is more than we've got. Would be nice to have a crack at. It'd be brilliant to have a crack at, because we can fly. So you can, apart from not being able to pass those blocks, you can just fly right up to the targets and pop them off from point blank range. I've never had that before. Okay, I think I saw a rat in the corner there. Yeah, there's definitely a rat. It just got electrocuted. Sorry, dude. Something's spawning in on me, that's not helpful. Why aren't these things electrocuting? No, they are a little bit. And there we are, the hatch has been revealed by all the spray stuff getting sent around the place. So I suppose that is how you might accidentally encounter the rat hatch, if you literally had no idea of how to access it, and you'd be thinking, what's that? And it appears as an icon on the map once it's revealed as well. And it's fairly obvious that it requires a key to open. That's pretty much the same graphic as the chests. Yeah, that's one way to deal with them. So we've got a shrine here. Will I lay down my arms? No, I haven't really got enough weapons to spare to be doing anything silly like that. Yeah, I think if you drop a weapon at that point, you'll get some kind of chest back to make up for it, but the snowballer, for all that I've been talking it down, did do a pretty good job against the boss, so I'm going to hang on to it. Oh, there's the scrambler. I would like that if possible. Got a gun muncher as well. In the same way as the shrine, haven't really got anything that I'm super desperate to get rid of. If you've exhausted ammo in guns, or you really don't like the weapon you've got, then maybe it's worth doing, but you need to put 2 into a gun muncher, just 1 for the shrine. Okay, there's the boss. Let's do a bit more of an explore around the level. Yeah, this mutation is definitely doing a very good job of clearing rooms, and hasn't been particularly troublesome with the ammunition conservation either. at 800 shots in its capacity, it's sort of one of the larger capacity weapons out there anyway. Okay, so I have got a key which we'll need to get into the rat fight. We've got enough to do Winchester's game as well. I think I'd definitely like to have a crack at Winchester's game, what with having flight. Another fused chest there, so I must have picked up some curse along the way. I hadn't really noticed that happening, but well, maybe not. We've not seen any jammed enemies. Curse tends to generate more mimics, more fused chests, and we have seen both, so... Oh, I forgot to change back to the mutation, but we froze him before he got shot off. Okay. Right, we don't need to refill that. I will refill the mutation. It's only half empty, but I'll refill it. And we've got a spare blank as well, which is helpful. So, need 2 to get into the rat, and I'm forever accidentally letting them off during the boss fight. Force of habit, and then finally I haven't got enough left to actually get into to the rat fight, and that is not a recommended gameplay tactic at all. Okay. Right. Wouldn't have minded a few more key drops so we could actually open some chests rather than junking them all. But, not to worry. We'll have a go at Winchester and see how we get on, particularly now we can fly. Right. This is such an unusual experience of being able to do this. I wonder if that shot would actually reach there, or is it going to be blocked by the green block? And part of me wants to... Good, the targets don't actually hurt you. Part of me wants to get that target legitimately by ricocheting off there, just to ensure that the green block breaks and I can actually then hopefully move through the gap. Let's get the first one done anyway. Oh, I mean, that really looks like I should be able to get it, doesn't it? Yes, hurrah. Ta-da! Yeah, wow. Okay. That is unusual for me to get all 4, and it's definitely the first time I've had the benefit of a flying item to do it. Oh, Dart Maker, that's a good weapon. That will come in handy against the rat, I hope. Okay, it might be useful against the boss as well, actually. We'll see. Right. Okay, let's go fight the boss and try to avoid using more than one blank, and hopefully get another flawless, which would put us in a pretty nice position for the rat fight. Yeah, this weapon in the gunslinger's hands at least has got a synergy that generates blank effects every so often, thus taking the enemy bullets out of the air and making life a whole lot easier to avoid getting hit. So yeah, there we go. Oh, we've got keys as well, marvellous. And Molotov launcher, which does exactly what you think. Okay, let's go get the chests open. So at this point I'd really like to be able to save the progress. And you can, but it it will then save it with the... When you come back to the game, it will put you down to the 4th floor rather than the rat fight. So that's not what we want. Is that scatter shots? Don't know if that'll actually be useful for us. And science cannon, which is still it's a good weapon. I quite like that. Beam weapon, so it runs out of ammo quickly. Right, we've got enough blanks, so I'm going to look for secret rooms. Not there. Back to the other chest room. Don't think that wall's deforming at all. It's a little hard to tell. That one's not. Okay, so not there. Let's have a look at the exit room. Doesn't look that way. I think the shop is slightly unlikely. But let's try it anyway. No, okay, well, we're pretty well equipped for the rat fight, I hope. Famous last words. Oh, I thought I could go through there, that's unhelpful. See you, Winchester, thanks for your game there, that was good. So I think I'll probably be using the dark marker against the rat himself because of the blank effect. And probably the mutation to get through the individual rooms leading up to it, since it was being such a good room clearer for us. So where is it? That's mutation. What do I want to use as a backup to mutation? Probably the dark maker. Dark marker. I always forget exactly what it's called. Okay, yeah, this is the best equipped I've been for the rat in quite some time. Let's hope it's enough. Okay, right, left. Did I get the other one of those Chanskins? Can't see anything there, so that's right. Right. Oh, got hit, never mind. Yeah, it seems to be getting stuck on something, I don't really know what. Anyway, that's right, left. I think I was just getting pushed back against the wall by the force of the shots. I hadn't realised that was an effect of this weapon. I haven't really noticed it at any point previously, I don't know why it's doing it now. Everything dead? Yes it is. Down, left. Okay. Definitely want to be avoiding those jammed shots if at all possible. Oh, actually, not as bad as it could have been. Oh Christ! Will you go away? There will be more jammed shots coming up. Damn it! Okay, yeah, armour at least doesn't react any different to a jammed shot compared to a normal one. You just take the one hit, whereas if you're on heart health, you will lose 2 hit points rather than 1 if you take a jammed shot. Okay, is that the Dark Maker? No. Dark Marker. Keep getting the name wrong. Dark Marker, and maybe the mutation's not such a great idea against the rat itself. So maybe take the Snowballer in as a backup, just in case I need to try to use the freezing abilities on it. I'm going to try kicking the hearts into the rat fight itself, since I can't actually make use of them at the moment. And I believe it's possible to get them kicked in if you don't go too far in yourself and have them appear in the room with you. Which would be nice if that is the case. I don't think I've ever actually managed it, but if it does eventually happen. No, into the room. What are you doing? Making that look very hard indeed. And to be fair, sometimes it can be. Okay, no, didn't seem to work. Total waste of time. Come on then, rat boy. Are you dead yet? Well, that's certainly effective. Kept all the health. It helped that we can fly over his poison traps as well. And the ammo's pretty full as well, so yeah, hopefully this is going to do the job. I think this would be, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. If I beat him, I think that's the first successful rat fight of this particular quest. Biggest worry now is how long this ammo will hold out for, but down to under half health. A little bit of ammo left. These blank effects are really helping out. And that is them gone, just about, or the ammo gone rather. Give you a quick taste of Molotov, don't know if that's any use. And Snowball, I hope for some freezing effect. Oh my god! I defeated the rat without taking a hit. I'm absolutely not going to beat Punch Out, but should beat the first phase, I hope. Oh, that's helpful. No, I told you I wasn't going to beat the second phase of that. Never mind. Right, we've got one rat key out of him, and a few tasty little drops as well. Actually, and the health's no use, unfortunately. To get the key, get the armor, gets an extra health container. One stone for what it's worth. Little rat telling me I'm useless at fighting, but I knew that. And another weapon, dueling pistol. Okay. So this should at least make for a good run beyond this point. We've got some keys as well. Another blank. Well, hang on to that. So we've got 3 going into the next floor. Another Grondstone, a bit more armour. Definitely going to be putting ammo into the Dark Marker. And what else needs topping up? Probably mutation. Oh no, it's full. What haven't we used? Something must need a bit of ammo, surely. No. Now it does. Right, okay. So, have we got any mimics over here? Let's switch to the starter weapon. There we are. What is... Oh, I've got helix bullets of multiple bullet effects on the starter weapon. That's unexpected. No mimics, that's unfortunate because much as mimics are horrid creatures, they wouldn't need a key to open them. So I'm hoping for either the boots or the sack here. This is why I need to be better at punch out and get more than one key. I'm going to try that one and hope for the best. It's the boots, yes, we've got a new item. That is fantastic. So let's just have a quick look at the old Ammonomicon. Unlocked item, yay. And it's an item rather than a gun, isn't it? I think there's a whole section dedicated to boots. Yeah, there we are, a whole bunch of boots. Now with the added bonus of the rat boots themselves. So should only... I think there might be 2 question marks left on here. One of them is the number 2 that relates to co-op play, and which you don't need to get the finished gun, and then this one here, which would be the rat sack, I think. Well, it might be the other question mark, but yeah. So just one more to actually complete the quest for the finished gun. Oh my god, some actual progress. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause this episode here. Should be a nice little cut-off point, and then carry on the run in a new episode. So thank you for watching this far, and I hope you enjoyed finally seeing me get a little bit of success with this quest. And we'll see how we get on with the rest of the run afterwards, if you want to stick around for that as well. Okay, bye.